The essence of this debate, as the young gentleman from Victoria University said, is all about evaluating where we think we stand between opportunity and risk. And it's a great pleasure to be here in New Zealand. I've been here for exactly 7 months, so I'm discovering this part of the world and learning an awful lot, and seeing, it's fascinating to see both what we have in common, but also the differences. So when I was reflecting about talking on AI, I thought I would talk about 4 I's, in fact. And the first I is what we all agree is the goal, which is innovation. I think everybody around this table is excited to be here because we want to be part of an innovative story. And I'm sure there are great minds, and I've been in the tech celebrations here in this very room and inspired by people who are doing groundbreaking research in many different areas. So what we absolutely want, and where we fully agree on the side of the European Union with New Zealand, with Minister Collins, is we need an environment that supports innovation. That's the first I. The second I is very much what you need to deliver on that. And that, I would argue, is all about investment, the opportunity for investment. And that also requires creating an environment where you can go from startups to stardom. And it's great if you're Sir Peter Beck. I had the privilege of being shown around Rocket Lab. That's absolutely awesome. But it's really challenging to break through the ceiling. It's challenging to get the know-how. It's challenging to get the capital. It's challenging to form the partnerships that you need to break through the ceiling and to become the next Rocket Lab, the next Xeros. And that's when many of us want to put the cursor, where we favor an investment environment that supports innovation. And this is very much also about the opportunity side. The third I is very much about international partnerships. So it's a pleasure here as the European Union ambassador, and it's great to have fellow EU ambassadors in the room, because the whole essence of the European Union is itself about international partnerships. The first step is the 27 of us coming to agree on a common framework, coming to agree that we're actually stronger together. But it's also, and that's why we're all here on the Team Europe, is we want to reach out to like-minded partners who share the same values, and we want to build a culture that supports opportunity and innovation together. And I fully agree with Minister Collins. International partnerships is absolutely essential for where we go in this field. And I had the pleasure of being last night with the OECD Secretary General, Matthias Gorman, and I thought it was really inspiring to hear the Minister this morning talk about the OECD's AI principles. We need to be in a broad, supportive international framework, and the European Union brings to that conversation, as Matty said, the first global comprehensive AI Act. It's very early days. It's been in force for 27 days. So the proof of the eating is the proof of the pudding is in the eating. But I think it's a first attempt to put the cursor where we think it should be. It's been a lot of discussion, as you can well imagine, between the 27 member states before it came into force. And I'm sure we've got some of it right, and I'm sure we've got some of it wrong. But at least we put out there an AI Act which gives an international framework, because that's the fourth I. We need a framework. In any innovation, you know, I grew up in a region where the first train was tested, where steam power was harnessed, and that was a great shock to society at the time. And people were frightened of how you harness the power of the train, what you do with the water. The first death on a train line caused immense international news and was of course tragic. But I think we've mastered train technology to a fair degree over the last couple of centuries, and I'm sure we'll get to grips with AI, but it's groundbreaking, it's new, but I think nobody would disagree that you need a framework. You can't just have unregulated innovation. You can't have it for steam power, you can't have it for trains. Where do you build the trains? What's the labour regulation? You always need a framework. So what we've done is put out a cursor there. These are the 4 I's in our view, and anybody who's interested to get a little bit more, I'm really proud to work for President von der Leyen, who's just been re-elected. She's just put out her political guidelines and a new vision. available digitally, not only in the old-fashioned paper version. But I want to say that she's put AI and investment in digital technologies at the heart of the vision of the European Union for the next 5 years, and we will continue to work on how to find the right balance between opportunity and risk. We put out there the EU's AI Act. Let's see how it cuts its teeth. Let's work together in international partnerships to get the right international framework that supports innovation, fosters investment, but also gives protection to consumers. Finally, and I'm sure I'm beyond 7:27, but I just want to say 2 last remarks. One, because it also talks about defense and multipolarity. I'd also like to say, as brave Ukrainians, I celebrated the Ukrainian Independence Day on Saturday, and with their unbreakable spirit, they're fighting for their freedom. It shows how important harnessing AI, and it also in the world of defense, is, and that, as the Minister said, it's about being a good actor, and that we need to make sure that those who are fighting for their freedoms, AI also supports their vision. And finally, on multipolarity, I like very much what Minister Collins said about you're not alone in being, New Zealand's not alone in being small. And this brings to one of my favourite points, because the EU gets presented as this kind of enormous thing. And I've grown up in the European Union, and I don't see it at all like that. So my final thought is, we've actually got lots of different actors. It's 27 states, 7 of which are distinctly smaller than New Zealand, and 5 are exactly the same size. I leave it to you to work out which of the 5 that are the same. Thank you very much.